Ben Underwood. Ben Underwood was just a regular kid until cancer took away both his eyes when he was only 2 years old. No vision, no light, nothing. Complete darkness. But Ben wasn't the type to live in the shadows. By the time he was 5, something weird started happening. He began clicking his tongue like a dolphin, and somehow he just knew where things were. The couch, the door, a person walking by. It didn't make sense until it did. Ben had taught himself echolocation, kind of like what bats and dolphins use. He'd make sharp clicks with his tongue and listen to how the sound bounced off objects around him. And based on the echoes alone, he could see. He rode a bike, played basketball, walked around busy streets like it was no big deal, all without eyes. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but maybe he was just guessing, right? Like some kind of muscle memory? Nah. Scientists studied him. His brain was mapping 3D space in real time just from sound. His clicks were like sonar, giving him a mental image of the world around him. He could even tell the difference between a trash can and a parked car just by the echo. Unfortunately, Ben's life was cut short. He passed away at just 16 years old when the cancer came back. Orlando Searle. Orlando Searle was just 10 years old when he got hit in the head by a baseball during a regular game with friends. It hurt a lot, but being a tough kid, he didn't go to the hospital. He walked it off and moved on, or so it seemed. But in the weeks that followed, he noticed something strange. He could suddenly remember every single detail of every single day since the accident. The weather, what he ate, what clothes he wore, random conversations, even the commercials on TV. It was all there, stored in crystal clear memory. He didn't write anything down. He didn't try to remember. It just stuck. Now at this point, you'd probably think, wow, he must have crushed it in school after that, right? Like imagine never forgetting a single thing from class. But here's the twist. It didn't work that way. He could remember his life in vivid detail, but not necessarily memorize textbooks or formulas. Decades later, the ability never went away. Doctors say he developed hyperthymesia, or total autobiographical memory, a condition so rare, only a handful of people in the world have it. Most are born with it. Orlando wasn't. That baseball hit flipped a neurological switch, giving him a superpower he never asked for. So yeah, he might forget his keys, but he'll never forget what you said on July 19th, 1983 at 4:02 p.m. Tony Sikoria. Tony Sikoria was a respected orthopedic surgeon from New York. His life was all about science, surgeries, and tight hospital schedules. In 1994, during a family trip, Tony stopped to make a quick call from a public payphone. As he hung up, a bolt of lightning struck the booth. The charge entered through his face, traveled down his body, and blasted out through his foot, ripping open his sneaker. He was thrown several feet through the air and collapsed on the ground, lifeless. He was rushed to the hospital, and he survived. Physically, he healed. But mentally, something had shifted. Just days after returning home, Tony started to feel an overwhelming urge to listen to classical piano music. He wasn't just curious, he was obsessed. Then something even stranger happened. He began hearing original piano compositions in his head. Not familiar tunes, completely new ones. So, he bought a piano, and when he sat down to play, despite having no formal training, his hands moved like he'd been playing for years. His technique, the emotion, the complexity, it was all there. Like a professional musician, had suddenly taken over his body. Friends were stunned. Even he couldn't believe it. Eventually, he began composing and performing his own work on stage. Doctors who studied his case believed the lightning strike might have stimulated areas of his brain linked to creativity and music, possibly in the temporal lobe,